name is Dr. George Yakos. I've been a cardiologist for over 30 years, an integrated cardiologist for more than 7. And I don't represent any hospital system or corporation. I'm here to advocate for one of the most fundamental principles of medicine, and that's called informed consent. The principle draws a clear line between ethical healthcare and dangerous, immoral, and even criminal behavior. Without informed consent, we risk engaging in practices that can lead to harm, no matter how well-intentioned they may seem. Now let me ask you a question. Cardiovascular disease is the #1 killer in the world. Does that mean that we should start adding statins, blood thinners, and blood pressure medications to the water? I trust that most of you recognize how absurd and dangerous that would be. We must apply the same reasoning to fluoride in the water. Placing any medication, including fluoride, into the public water supply without considering individual health factors, genetics, nutritional status, and overall well-being is reckless. It disregards the idea of personal choice and leads to unintended, potentially harmful consequences. Fluoride's history is dark. Historically, fluoride was used during World War II by both the Nazis and the Soviets, but not for dental health, to suppress brain function, to make people docile and passive and follow orders. This is not a conspiracy theory, this is documented history. The fact that we still add fluoride to the water without consideration for the long-term effects is concerning, to say the least. Fluoridation as a public health measure was spearheaded by Dr. Hodge, the lead toxicologist of the Manhattan Project. This guy basically took unsuspecting patients, tested radioactive substances on them and fluoride, and there were disastrous consequences. And yet, despite these dangerous experiments, he went on to promote community use of fluoride and that it was safe to put it into our drinking water. Dr. Dean, the so-called father of water fluoridation, initially promoted fluoride because he noticed that naturally occurring fluoride seemed to reduce the cavities in certain communities. With further investigation, he discovered a disturbing truth. People in these areas suffered from bone deformities, vertebral abnormalities, calcified ligaments, and high rates of cataracts. How much suffering and unnecessary orthopedic and eye surgery has occurred due to this? Science has shown us that the benefits of fluoride are largely topical, not systemic. Fluoride toothpaste is enough to protect our teeth. Swallowing fluoride, however, has been proven to harm our brain function, thyroid function, bone health, and more. Just read the small print on a toothpaste tube. So why would you be advised to call the Poison Control Center if you swallowed too much toothpaste? It's a poison. Recent studies from the CDC and the EPA have admitted that they don't even know the safe upper limit of fluoride ingestion. That's a stunning admission, considering we've been told for decades that fluoridating water is perfectly safe. Perhaps the most alarming research comes from studies showing...
Yes, sir. I have your extra time.
Okay. Perhaps the most alarming research comes from studies showing a significant reduction in IQ among children exposed to fluoride, especially in utero. Fluoride has been compared to lead in terms of its impact on developing brains, and the effects are devastating. Why was this information suppressed? Why are these findings hidden from the public? The answer lies in powerful lobbies and regulatory agencies more concerned with preserving the status quo than protecting our health. Fluoride's harmful effects don't stop with brain function. Consider common medications like Prozac, Luvox, or even the infamous drug fen-phen, fluoride being a key component in all of these drugs, dulling senses or even causing serious physical damage. It's time we stop turning a blind eye to the toxic impact fluoride has on our bodies. Let's not be naive. The tactics used to justify water fluoridation today echo those employed by the tobacco industry for years. Like all the ill effects of smoking, the dangers of fluoride are now becoming public knowledge, yet powerful interests continue to suppress this information. We are only beginning to see the full scope of harm caused by forced fluoridation, but it's clear that informed consent has been violated for far too long. Fluoridating water without consent is forced medication. It strips away our right to choose what we put into our bodies. If we are to protect the public health, we must demand transparency, accountability, and respect for our fundamental right to informed consent. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.